Hello and welcome to the Gridiron Waiver Wire Report, looking ahead to week 7. 7? Are we really that far into the season already? Amazing.
It's crazy.
And we've almost had a full schedule up until this point. We'll wait for the latest Corona nightmare that will mean that all of our waiver wire ideas go out the window. But for now, you need your pickups ready. But right now, your top 5 for the waiver wire. Pete, starting off, as is tradition, at number 5. Broncos wide receiver Tim Patrick. I mean, I tried to watch as little of that game on Sunday as possible, and I've yet to watch it back. But I did see the box score, and he looked like he had a bit of a day.
Yeah, well, so I'm a Patriots fan, so I did sit and watch that entire game, and it was tough to watch, but I will say I came away from that game just being probably way too high on Tim Patrick. He was the number one receiver in that Broncos offense. Drew Lock was looking to get the ball to him down the field with regularity. I think he saw like 8 targets, had 4 catches for 100-plus yards, and was making some really great plays down the boundary against the Patriots secondary that was not as good as it was last year, obviously, but is still very good and ranks the top of the, up in the top of the NFL. So with Drew Lock just wanting to chuck the ball around, and with Noah Fant still working his way back from injury, and with Melvin Gordon's, we don't know what his role in the backfield is going to remain as. I really like Tim Patrick to kind of continue to be that number one wide receiver for the Broncos and just be regularly a big downfield threat for them.
Astonishing in a season. I mean, we saw Jerry Jeudy get a little bit involved on Sunday, but Tim Patrick is the man that emerges. That's what you've got to love about the NFL.
He's 6'4", and Drew Lock just liking to chuck the ball down the field. It's a good recipe.
Yeah, nice. Right. In at 4, and there was some debate and discussion back and forth on this because we have more running back issues in San Francisco, more injuries happening there. Raheem Mostert is down. He's going to IR. That means he'll miss at least 3 weeks with a high ankle sprain. So the question is it straight up just going to be JERRICK McKinnon, who had a good week out a couple of weeks ago, or are we going to see Jermichael Hasty, of all players, undrafted running back? Has Bobby Turner found another diamond in the rough?
Honestly, add whatever running back you want to in San Francisco's backfield. It is truly proven that no matter who Kyle Shanahan runs out onto the field, they will have success in this offense. Obviously, I think JERRICK McKinnon has done plenty this season to cement himself as that lead back. Anytime there's injuries, Tevin Coleman, who knows what is going on with him? I think he's still on IR and hasn't returned yet. And also Jeff Wilson Jr. is dealing with rib injuries, I believe. So this is JERRICK McKinnon's backfield simply because of the fact that he is the healthiest back out there. So I think he is something, obviously, go target. And just like I said, anyone who the 49ers could possibly trot out into the backfield is worth rostering, regardless of what league you're in, simply because Kyle Shanahan's backfield is just fantasy goldmine.
And look, coming up, we've got the Patriots and the 49ers for the Seahawks, which is much for the Seahawks. The Patriots and the Seahawks for the 49ers, I should say. Plus the Packers, in fact, as well. 3 teams that you can run on. There are going to be difficult matchups. They very well could be high-scoring matchups. And so there's going to be a lot being done. I thought the game script against the Rams was absolutely bang on from Kyle Shanahan, his best game plan of the year so far. So well worth an ad. We've got 2 players from the same team in our top 3. It's a little bit of a sandwich. In third place, let's take the tight end from the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Goedert.
Zach Ertz is on IR. He is out 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. And we know Dallas Goedert, when he was healthy and he started, he was in the first 2 games of the season this week. He had, I think it's like 18 plus targets, 12 receptions, 130 plus yards, and a touchdown between those 2 games. We know Dallas Goedert can ball in Philly's offense. And we know Philly's offense wants to prioritize the tight end. And Zach Ertz just hasn't been getting it done for them. So Goddard is coming off of IR this week, presumably, and we'll see whether or not he actually is ready to play week 7. But regardless of that, you should be adding Dallas Goedert, especially if you're tight end needy. Goddard is going to come into an offense that is desperately looking for someone to throw the football to. And with their already prioritizing the tight end position, we see Goddard had success before. And low-key, I think the Eagles are trying to get away from Zach Ertz. So I feel like they are going to prioritize Dallas Goedert and really put him into the forefront in this offense. So he is 100% worth rostering in your fantasy leagues, especially if you are tight end needy. If you've been streaming tight ends, go get Dallas Goedert.
We're going to stick in the NFC East in a moment, but in at 2 before that, and as much as this team isn't very good, they're going to be behind a lot. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Keelan Cole is emerging for the Jags.
I absolutely love Keelan Cole.
He leads the Jaguars in targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and he's available on your waiver wire. I don't know what more you want from a potential waiver wire target, especially at wide receiver. Yes, the Jaguars are terrible and they're fun to make fun of, but you can't argue with that level of production. And the fact that Gardner Minshew clearly is focusing on Keelan Cole and really emphasizing him to be a part of this offense, I love Keelan Cole going forward for the rest of the season. I think he has the most reliable floor. I think his floor is a wide receiver to consistently for the rest of the year.
And then let's head back to the Philadelphia Eagles. And in no small part, injury definitely plays a part of this. But when you're in a league or a division as bad as the NFC East, and your next 3 games are all against those NFC East teams, Boston Scott has an opportunity over the next 3 weeks to run wild.
Yeah, Miles Sanders looks like he is going to be out
The next 2 weeks. They play Thursday night against the Giants and then the Cowboys in week 8. And then the Eagles have a bye week 9. So Sanders is going to be out for those next 2 weeks, which means Boston Scott walks into a starting running back role in the Eagles offense, like you said, against the NFC East, which is just a trash division. And so you love to see it. You love to see this matchup. The Giants and Cowboys haven't been able to stop the run. The Cowboys just let Kenyon Drake go absolutely wild on them in Monday night. And so I love Boston Scott to be able to continue to basically give you running back 1 numbers for the next 2 weeks. And like you always say, Will, fantasy football, it's a week-to-week game. And even if Miles Sanders is out just 1 to 2 weeks, Boston Scott is going to give you RB1 production during those weeks. And so he is the #1 waiver ad for this week, without a doubt.
Beautiful stuff. If you're in a deeper league, if you're out there, searching in a 16 team and the waivers are looking thin as anything, Pete does go a bit deeper at fake teams. They go to the top 10 waiver wire ads. So where can people find more out, Pete?
FakeTeams.com. I drop my top 10
waiver wire ads there, as well as 5 players to prioritize and how much of your fab budget you should be spending to get them. And you can make sure to follow me on Twitter at Pete M. Rogers.
Lovely stuff. Pete Rogers joining me, Will Gavin, for the Gridiron Waiver Wire Report. If this has helped you in any way, if it's helped you in any way over the first 6 weeks of the season, drop a like on the video, subscribe, make sure you've got the alerts on as well so you get this content in time, ready to make your waiver wire ads. And check out the Gridiron Show. It'll be out tomorrow, Wednesday, with all the very latest news and views from around the NFL, plus Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick joining us weekly. So join us for that one. Otherwise, thank you for watching. This has been the Gridiron Waiver Wire Report.